So day 15 will have to be just a quick 3-minute one, so I'm running late. I have to go to the supermarket before I go to church for holy hour and then mass, thank God. So this is interesting. That passage she gave, the part in Kings, that has always been, whenever I used to get into comment wars, commentary section wars with Protestants, I would always bring up that passage, like, okay, look at this. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Come again. With your, let me not get aggressive. But yes, I know we have to work on that. Not really sure we be arguing with each other in comment sections. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good on Jesus. But his followers are arguing with each other. But aside from that, let's just focus on this side, this central truth. And I think this doesn't need to be a long video at all. God became man so we could become like God. Yes, that's why we're called Christians, we're to be little Christ. And that God chose to have a mother. God became man so that we could become like Christ. And this is not something, I feel like some of the Protestants really get up in the woo-woo. Which is something I find that funny. Not all Protestants, I'm not trying for all Protestants, but it's just, I've seen it's like when I say up in the woo-woo, it's like they stop seeing Jesus as a human being who walks the earth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, he was God, but he was also a human being. That's a very significant thing. It means that he looked like someone you could dismiss who was walking down the street. Do you get what I'm saying? And so now it's treating him as a baby as well. He didn't just come into this world as Jesus Christ, like just divine being. He'll come like that in his second coming. When he comes the second time, he's going to look like God. But the first time he came, he was almost dismissible. And it's like, and he had a mother. And now St. Paul says this, we don't know what we will be like when we resurrect. We don't know what we will be like on the other side. But while we're on this side, we too are quite dismissible, aren't we? I mean, it's like I can't be dismissed as walking down the road. I look like everybody else. Do you know what I'm saying? I have my issues like everybody else. I'm a sinner like everybody else. And so what's my point? My point is that God became man so that we could become like God. And now we are all one in Christ. And it's an abomination, as the saint once said, it's an abomination to think that a mother can give birth to just the head and not the rest of the body. And I know St. Paul points out that we are all one in Christ, we are one body in Christ, we are one spirit in Christ. And so now if we are not one in his spirit, and we are also, if we are one in his spirit, we are also one in his body, and Mother Mary gave birth to the entire body, I think it's fair to say that she is our mother too, because you can't give birth to natures. Some Christians would say that she only gave birth to his human nature. You can't give birth to natures, and you also can't give birth just to a head. That would be an abomination, and we know Jesus is our head. So, yeah, Jesus is our head. Mother Mary is the neck of that body. She went to heaven right after Jesus. The Assumption is backed up by history. The tradition of the church is the history of the church. So there's nothing really here to deny or to fight. If you try to, you just end up in all this theological woo-woo, which is nonsense, Yeah, and so it just makes sense. For the blood, when the blood is circulating around the body, and for it to go to the head, it has to pass through the neck. Mother Mary's the neck. If we're going to follow in Jesus' footsteps, the person who is following right behind Jesus, we're going to end up following their footsteps too. The person right behind Jesus is Mary. You're walking her footsteps too, whether you like it or not. And finally, God deemed to come to us through Mary, and he deems it necessary that we approach him through her as well. I remember hearing this in a book that went really deep. I think it was from one of Gabby After Hours videos. It just talks about how when you look at Marian consecration, ultimately, Mary is the way to Jesus. And some people will be like, oh, but Jesus said he is the way. Okay. Yes, Jesus is the way. And who perfectly resembles Jesus? This is not a fighting matter. It's like walking in that circus. You know that hall of mirrors that's inside some amusement parks. I think that in the end, any which way you look, it's always going to come back to the same thing that you see. So you can either get lost or just choose to embrace it. Does that make sense? Alright, I'm off. Bye, guys. And one more thing that I thought of is like how... Okay, so let's be honest, yeah? I feel like it's with mothers. It's now that I live with my mother. I have 2 older siblings, but me and my mom are in the UK together. And it's now that I live with my mother alone that I'm learning that it's like, I feel like it's from your mother that you learn like how to deny your will and do your mother's will. I mean, can you say like, because like mothers are always, okay, everyone who has a mother knows how mothers are. Mothers are like kind of like, I mean, they can nag, they can be like, oh, well, you do this, you never do this properly, and you kind of like, you got to comply, you know what I'm saying? Mother knows best, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of interesting. And even with Jesus in the wedding of Cana, we kind of see him do the same thing. He kind of like, it's like, he's like the typical child reaction to their mom, which is like, oh, mom, my hour has not yet come, like, oh, I don't want to do it. And then it's like Mother Mary is like, don't say nothing. She just turns to the servants like, do whatever he tells you. Like, it's like, yeah, you say it now, but you both know you're going to do what I say. And it's so funny to me because I've experienced that. It's like times when I don't see what my mom is saying, and my mom doesn't even say, like, she doesn't say anything again. And I think that's where it's interesting. It's funny because like, it's like, I feel like when we teach our kids to really fear God, because I attribute my faith to my mom, and it's like, so when we teach kids this, it's like, even if they want to like say, no, I don't want to do it, I'm not doing it, it's like, you don't even have to do anything again, just leave them to God, because God is going to be like, really? You're really not going to do it? And you're like, oh, honor thy father and mother, and you just get up and do it for the sake of your soul, for the sake of just not upsetting God, and you're like, mother knows best, right? And so I think that's just really a really cool thing that's it's funny because even Jesus got that way with his mom, like, oh, mom. But it's like, yeah, we learn with our mothers to deny our will. It's like in the home, as we obey our moms, we learn to deny our will. And I think that's really just so beautiful and just so powerful, isn't it? So we thank God for that, and we keep going in this odd world full of weird pagan things, which maybe I'm just being a bit crazy. Is that pagan? Maybe that's not pagan. Yeah. Okay, maybe it reminded me of the satanic pentagon, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, we just keep moving forward, trust it in the Lord, because our God who is in us is powerful than he who is in the world. And yeah, that concludes my rosary-in-a-year day 15 reaction. And yes, now I'm in Morrison's. I don't know if you can tell. You can't tell from this side, can one? I have to go all the way around to enter inside. I'm here to buy some vegetables before I head for my holy hour in my church. Beautiful church. And yeah, so I'll see you in the next video. Oh, by the way, hi. There you go. You got to see, what is it called? Face sneak peek? Face reveal? That's it. There's your little face reveal. Look at that sky. Thank God. Oh, wow. So pretty. I feel like everything here in the UK is so beautiful. Wow. I feel like, man, even though I'm broke, I thank God. Just like, I mean, this is next level broke, fam. Like, I'm broke, but I don't feel broke because everything around me is beautiful. But it's so nice. In the past, it was like when I was broke, it's like, oh, look at that bird, so cute. Like, in the past when I was broke, it was like, it was me going places with my money that made me feel like, I don't know, rich, because like I was spending money on things. But here, I don't even need to have money to feel rich. I mean, I feel like these, just the everyday sights are just such a blessing, you know? God really just, I've always been British, but I never really lived here. I spent most of my life in Nigeria, and now I'm finally here. I just thank God for everything He's given me, and like the being able to be here, you know, it's a huge upgrade, it's a huge up. So I really just thank God. And now I'm about to head inside and buy stuff. So see you in the next video. Bye.